Hi, hello, and welcome everyone. So in this video, we are going to, discuss about the local storage, session storage, and the cookies. Now, what are the differences? So I would like to tell you one thing that local storage and session storage are coming into the HTML5. So it was not existing before HTML5. It is not available in HTML4. But now every browser is supporting the HTML5, so we can use the local storage and the session storage in HTML. So, and there's third thing which is cookies. So cookies is we are using before the HTML5 as well, so we can use that. So before starting this, I would like to introduce myself that I'm Shubham and I'm a YouTube creator and I teach you all the things which is related to HTML, CSS, JS, SCSS, TypeScript, ECMAScript and a lot of things. Okay, so let's just get started.
Okay, if you are new to my channel, then please subscribe this button over here and just comment me out that what more you want from this video, and let's just start.
Let's just discuss about the differences in the local storage, session storage, and the cookies. So first of all, we'll discuss about the capacity. Now, what is the capacity of these three things? So first of all, I will talk about the local storage. So it is having a huge capacity, like over 10 megabytes. Okay, so there is a 10 MB space you can store in local storage, and for the session storage you may have the 5 MB space, and for the cookies you can have the 4 kilobytes only. Isn't it too small? Yeah, I know, but it's for the different use. Okay, so these are the differences in the capacity. If we go to the next, which is like the accessibility, so the local storage can be accessible anytime, like on any tab, and for the session storage you remain to the session only, which is like on the particular tab, and cookie is also scoped with the similar to the local storage. Okay, and now come to the expiration. Now when they expires, so for the local storage it never expires. This is the beauty of this local storage API. Okay, for the session storage, this is the particular to that tab for the session, so it expires once you close the tab or once you expire the session. And for the cookies you have to expire it manually. You can give an expire parameter and write the date, UTC object, right? So these are the differences in that way. If we talk about the the location, so the cookie is only which has to be stored into the client end as well as the server also. But if we talk about the local storage and session storage, these are basically into the front end side, and the cookies are sent to the server. So there is one more cookie existing over the server and in the client end as well. So apart from the local storage and session storage, this is a cookie which go to server, and rest of two are not sent to the server. So these are the use, what kind of use you want to get out of these APIs. Let's look into it, and without wasting any time, let's just deep dive into the code.
Okay, so let's see. So let's just start with just looking into the storage. So just go into inspect element, and this you can go into the application thing, and here you can see the local storage and the session storage and the cookies as well. So you can see all of these are available for this particular URL. So in local storage you have nothing by default, and in the session storage you have one thing, that is again by default, and cookies are empty by default. So how will you use those three things? So in session storage there is a default key, which is this first time log from live server. So this is true. Okay, so you can see like this will always be the default one, so that will be into the session storage only. And as we all know that session storage is the scoped into the that tab of this window, like this tab. And if I open a new window like this, okay, and check the different session storage, so here also we can have the default one. But let's suppose if we create anything into the session storage, like in the first window I'm creating like session storage. So this is the way we can basically, this is the API through that we can basically set the items into this and set item, and I can write like user and can provide the username, which can be the Shubham. Okay, and just hit enter. So once I do so I just go into the application window, and now I check into the session storage. We can see that there is a key which is user and the value is Shubham. Now the point is how to retrieve this value. So this is very simple, as we have used the set item. So we can use the session storage dot get item, as simple. So if we pass the user, it will return the string. So in case you want to basically save the object instead of the string, so you can actually use the json.stringify, or when you retrieve this you can use the json.parse. So just for an example, let's suppose you make an object is equals to like a JSON, and you're having a name called let's suppose Shubham, and you have an ID, let's suppose 001 0001. Okay, so this is your object, and now you want to save this into the session storage. And if you use the key as you used before, like user, so it will override the user key into the session storage. So let's suppose you are now want to save the object into this, so you can use the json.stringify and pass the obj. Okay, so showing it's not a function, obviously we haven't called the set item and this, so use this. And now you can easily see here in the application that you'll find into the string that name is Shubham, and like this, and go again and try to retrieve this like session storage dot get item user. So like this way you can get this, and if you want to convert this into an object, you can use json.parse and pass this into that, and you can easily retrieve this anytime. And similarly, as we already discussed, that session storage is limited and scoped into the tab. So if you go into the next tab, like this tab, and here you cannot find session storage, any session storage here. If you write like session storage get item user, you'll find null. So this is the beauty of session storage. So this is the something, this is what we have, something like we can use in session specific. Okay, and in case you want something which can be shared to every tab, like that must be your in the local, that is not scoped into the session, so you can use the local storage. So like local storage, let me check here that do we have anything into the local storage. So in the local storage we haven't have anything here right now, so we can save anything like local storage. See, this is again an API, and I can use set item, and we can have the let's suppose count keyword, count, like we can also use like website hit or whatever we want to be want to have. Like by default we can pass 0. Okay, so we can use this, and now here if I check into the application, we have the key website hit and value is 0. So similarly, if we want to retrieve anything, we can use the get item like this way, and we can use this keyword, the key, and we will have the result. And again, if we want to save the object into it, we can use the json.parse or the json.stringify to string that. Okay, so the good thing about this is like you just basically created the local storage here in this tab, and if you change the tab, and if you want to go into here and you want to check the local storage, so you will have this local storage here as well, which is not the same for the session storage. So whenever you want to have the variables into your local throughout the tabs within the browser, so you can actually use the local storage. And now if I go to tab 1 and go into the console, and let's suppose if I override this thing, like website head is now 1. Okay, and if I get item here, it is 1, and I go to here and console this, and if I local storage dot get item what was the key? Website hit. So we'll have 1 into the next tab. So this is the amazing thing, like we can store anything locally, and which is having the huge capacity as well. Like we can save like 10 MB, which is very good for us, and we can save as many as things which are not used to be used into the server side. So maximum decision we can take at the local, like in the client end or the browser. Similarly, as we know now, good to know that what is the difference between local storage and the session storage, and like both the things we can use in the similar way, but the uses are different. And now what about the cookies? So we can use like document.cookie like this way. Okay, so and we need to pass a string for this, and in this again we have the like key value players, but in a string format. Like we can pass in the cookie we can pass like user ID equals to 0001. Okay, like in this way. So we can have this, and now just go into the application and check into the cookie. So you will have the user ID 0001, so which was not earlier. And just check a couple of things here as well, like in the name and the value and the domain for the specific domain, not for this page. So specific domain, and the path is slash that says for any tab it will remain. And now the expiry is showing the max age or session. Okay, so size is 10, which you should not care about. So HTTP only, and like these things. So if you want to expire this, now you have to manually do so. So you can write like semicolon, and then you can write the expire and the date. So this is the way. But the difference in the local session storage or cookie is, if you rewrite this, let's suppose user ID equals to 2, and you hit enter. So go into the application. So this is the user ID. This will override. That is okay. Let's suppose if you do a different thing like ID. So this will create a different key into the cookie. So this is the difference. Like you can create multiple cookies like this way. So the cookies are again similar in the scope with the local storage, like however you use the local storage, so you can use the cookie also. But in cookie, we generally used to have the information that whether the current user is available or not, so that must be shared with the server also. So that cookie is also generated from the server, and that actually create the connection from the server. So this is actually about the whole things, and hope you like this, like cookie and the session storage and the local storage. So thank you so much. So this is all about the local session and cookie storage. So please subscribe my channel and watch out these videos. Thank you.